Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing my official playoff predictions, and I'm not going to sit here and waste our time talking about the play-in tournament. So I'm just going to tell you who I think came out of it on the East and West. So first, in the East, I think Philly will be playing Washington, and then I think the Nets will be playing the Celtics. Over in the West, I think Utah is going to end up playing Golden State, and then Phoenix is playing the Lakers. And I think by the time you guys are seeing this video, you will already know who came out of those games. So let's see if I'm right about that. But I'm not going to sit here talking about the play-in tournament. It's a little confusing. But without further ado, let's start off in the East. Philly versus Washington. I think Washington could be a little sneaky, dangerous team. But I think Philly is playing the best basketball they've played in a long time. I think they will finish them in 5 games. I could say that confidently. Russ and Bradley Beal have been very good, but I think Philly's just too much of a powerhouse. Next, we have Knicks versus Atlanta. And Knicks are a gritty team, and obviously the Hawks have been good this year, but I think the Knicks are winning this in 6. I think the Knicks' their chemistry is so important because I think it's going to be too much for Atlanta because Atlanta, they're a young team. They're not really experienced in the playoffs, and I think the Knicks could definitely finish this within 6 games. Next, we have Milwaukee versus Miami. Now, my team is Miami, if you guys don't know. So basically, the Heat beat the Bucks last year in the playoffs. They destroyed them, to be specific. I think they could do it again. Obviously, it's going to be much harder with them acquiring Drew Holiday, and they're just playing better basketball, in my opinion, even though they might not have the better record as they did last year. But I think Miami can still take this to 6 games and finish them off. I may be biased. I actually am very biased. But I think Miami could beat the Bucks in 6 games. Because we have the Giannis Wall. Miami has the Giannis Wall certified. Next, Brooklyn versus the Celtics. And I have Brooklyn in 5. I have Brooklyn in 5. I think the Nets will take it in 5 games. Celtics aren't really the Celtics they were a couple years ago. And they don't have Jaylen Brown, obviously. But I just don't think they're meshing well together. They're getting stopped by zone defenses. But I think Brooklyn's finishing that in 5. So over here in the first round, Utah versus Golden State. Now, Steph is on a tear, and they could give him a run for their money, but I think with Donovan Mitchell being back, Utah is going to finish Golden State in 6. So I think they could push it to 6, the Warriors, because Steph is going to be on another level, like he's been. I think they will definitely push it to 6 games. Next, we have Dallas versus the Clippers. Rerun of last year, where would they win in 6? I think the Clippers won in 6. I might be mistaken, but I have Clippers in 6 again. The Mavericks aren't there yet. They don't have the roster. Even in 5, but I'm going to be nice and call it 6 because I think that the Clippers are going to be too much for Dallas because now the Clippers are kind of underrated. You know, people were expecting them last year to come in strong and they underachieved. Now people are expecting them to do that again. Well, I think they will overachieve with what people are expecting. So I have Clippers coming out of that series. Next, we have Denver versus Portland. It's going to be a great series. I wish Jamal Murray was playing, but without Jamal Murray, I think Portland is going to take this series in 7. I think this is going to go 7. And I think the lack of Jamal Murray is going to hurt Denver, and CJ, Dame, Melo, they'll just be too much for Denver to handle. Oh, I picked Denver in 7. It was my mistake. I meant Portland in 7. Next, we have Phoenix versus the Lakers. Now, I have LA in 5. The Lakers in 5 games. I think they're going to be too much for the Nets, for the Suns to handle. Suns are still not very experienced in the playoffs at all. Chris Paul's the only one who has playoff experience. He's never even been to the Western Conference Finals. They had a great season. I just think that they're going to lose. That's unfortunate to go a whole season playing so well and have to play a healthy Lakers squad in the first round of the playoffs. It's very unfortunate for them, but I think they're getting bounced first round. We're going all the way back to the East, second round. Philly versus the Knicks. New York versus Philadelphia. That's going to be crazy. Hopefully not many fans are allowed in these games because there will be a lot of fights if there are. But I'm taking Philly in 6. You know, I think the Knicks are going to push it to 6. The Knicks are, like I said, gritty team, strong team. And I have Philly going to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is interesting. Definitely interesting. But yeah, Philly in 6. Now we have my Heat and the Nets. Bro, my Heat and the Nets. If the Nets are healthy, I'm going the Nets in 6. I think Miami can steal a couple. Miami stole a couple from the Lakers last year when they were hurt. So definitely steal a few, maybe even push it to 7. But I think overall, even as a Heat fan, maybe I'm a bad fan for saying it, but I think Brooklyn is going to take it in 6. I love you, Miami. We need a couple more pieces. If Victor Oladipo was here and we had everyone strong and healthy, it might be a different story. But unfortunately, we don't. So Brooklyn in 6. Now coming back to the West, Utah versus the Clippers. I have Clippers in 6. This is going to be a great series, by the way. I think this would be an amazing series. Hopefully, Mitchell's at full health. But Clippers will take it in 6. Kawhi, Paul George, their defense, offense. And then we have Rondo now. Oof. The Clippers are going to be a scary team, I'm telling you. The Clippers are going to be a scary team this time around. Clippers in 6. I say that with confidence. You know, Utah isn't really a playoff team in my mind. And next, we have Portland versus the Lakers. And I'm taking Portland in... I'm taking the Lakers in 5. The Lakers are still way too much for Portland to handle. They got better since last year, so it's definitely going to be rough for Portland. Again, getting bounced in the second round. Portland can't seem to catch a break, but if they could win this, that would be huge because they never really scared anyone to go to the finals. You know, they've made it to the Western Conference Finals, and they made it, you know, no one was really looking at them as a final team, to be honest, but that's what I'm going for. Lakers in 5. Next, the Eastern Conference Finals, Brooklyn versus Philly. Now, full strength, this will be a great series. With that being said, Nets in 6. Too much firepower. If James Harden is healthy, he's going to run the offense too flawlessly, and I think Brooklyn is headed to the finals if everyone's healthy. That's a big if, because there's been a lot of injuries. And it's the same thing over here, Clippers, Lakers. If the Lakers and Clippers, they can both stay healthy, that would be an amazing series. But if they can't, then it could go either way. Assuming both teams will be healthy, I am going to go Lakers in 7. I think it's going to be Lakers in 7 games against the Clippers. Now, I can definitely see the Clippers, you know, making some noise and winning in 7. I can 100% see that. But if I have to pick, I'm going to pick the Lakers because that's a safe pick. And I want to get this right. So the NBA Finals, we are here. In the NBA Finals, the Nets versus the Lakers. Now, if everyone is full strength, like I said, then I think this could be one of the best finals of all time. AD, KD, LeBron, Kyrie, Harden, Drummond, and, you know, that's a weird comparison. But, you know, the lineups stack up better than people think. LeBron is the best player in the world. Him with a great roster is scary no matter what. So I think my overall prediction of the NBA Finals, assuming everyone is healthy, I am going the Nets in 7. I think Brooklyn will pull it off, and I think James Harden will win Finals MVP. That is my official prediction. I think there's just too much firepower, too much offense. The only thing that scares me is their defense. I don't know how they're going to contain Anthony Davis, but we will see how that goes. But that is my official prediction. I wonder, imagine I get this exactly correct, then I win $1 million, I think. I don't know. But guys, leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment as well. And don't forget to subscribe. But that's it for me. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm out. Peace.